Here's a good one from a recent report coming out from the tax office. This is from Deborah Jenkins, one of the Deputy Commissioners. The ATO finds billions in tax. He's unpaid by small business and fires warning shots at accountants. I'm really worried. As a small business tax accountant, I get it though, Deborah. I absolutely get it. And some of her investigations, and they looked at about 1,400 small businesses, and she's uncovered exactly what we see out there, which is these three problems with small business tax. It's rife. The tax officers are going to haul in heaps of bucks one day, but we're not exactly worried at Paris Financial. We're not worried at all. We're all set for it. Underreported income is the number one thing Deborah spoke about. Now that would be, another word for that would be cheating. That's where people just cheat. Not good to be dishonest and cheating, is it? Just purely underreporting income. Now there are some mistakes that people make, but underreporting income pretty much is meaning cheating. This is the big one, folks. This thing is massive. We see it out there in the small business community. It is rife, and you have to have the necessary skills and people to deal with people in small business taking money for their private use and not declaring it for tax. It's called, in our land, tax accounting land, it's called Division 7A. And if you're using a sole practitioner accountant who's got one or two people working for them, they will be at risk, only because I would be at risk if I was doing that in my business today as well. The Tax Act's too big, folks. It's way too big. The private use, so money pulled out of a business and off for private use and not declared for tax, Division 7A is absolutely rife, and the tax office is going to make millions, and they reckon billions out of it. So get this right and make sure that you're with a decent firm if your business is growing, to make sure it's right. And that's why we can reduce people's taxes and still make it legal, because it's a complicated act, folks, and you've got to understand it. And the third one here is the small business people don't understand their obligations, and it's exactly what I spoke about just then. The Tax Act is huge. The punters out there and our clients, they're not interested in understanding tax, and nor should they. It's not the operations of their business, it's the operations of our business. And if you don't have a tax accountant who understands all the areas of the Tax Act, because they've got a decent team with them to understand all those areas, and you've got a growing small business, go and find a decent accountant, because if they don't understand, you're going to be exposed for not paying enough tax. So Deborah's come out, the Deputy Commissioner, underreported income, just cheating. Private use is Division 7A, it's rife, and make sure you understand your tax obligations, and more importantly, make sure your accountant does. Get out there, get things right, get things ship-shape, and you'll be fine when the tax office comes a-knocking. See ya.